Sometimes in life, things that sound too good to be true actually are true. It's rare, but this is one of those examples. Every 90 days, Berkshire Hathaway discloses what it's been doing over the previous quarter. So Q1 is January 1 through March 31, and the 13F filing just came out. 13F is what they file with the SEC to tell you all their holdings. A lot of companies, this information isn't that valuable because they trade so often. Even they held it 45 days ago, but you don't know if they're still holding. But Berkshire is a little different. You can see here they time held top 10 is 30 quarters, which is what is that, like 8 years. So if they, especially the new purchases, I like to pay attention to anything that they're adding to, because that's an indication to me that it's, at least in their view, it's a good purchase and worth holding for a while. Now this isn't foolproof, obviously. Like, they miss sometimes. Stone Energy, Nubank hasn't worked out great yet, but definitely a great source of information. So let's check out what Warren Buffett, the man who has by far the best investment record of anyone ever. Let's see what he's up to. So their number one holding continues to be Apple, $155 billion in Apple. One other thing I got to say about this, their stock portfolio is about $300 billion, but the entire company is more like $700 billion. So even though Apple represents 42% of their portfolio, Apple only represents about 20% of the value of Berkshire Hathaway. Still, 20% of a massive company in one stock is very rare. And I like it because it makes me feel better about the concentrated positions that I hold. So Apple, Bank of America, American Express, nothing new here. Chevron. This has been kind of the news of this quarter. Is Berkshire is heavily investing in oil stocks. They've been buying Occidental Petroleum. They loaned like $10 billion to Diamondback Energy, or Diamond Offshore. Diamondback Fang is another one that I personally like. Occidental. So Chevron, they now own $26 billion in Chevron. Combine that with the $13 billion that they've been buying in Occidental. You see, these are Q1 2022. So this is and they own, look at this, they own 24% of Occidental Petroleum. 24%. Chevron's like one of the biggest companies in the world. They own 8% of Chevron, 20% of American Express, 12% of Bank of America, 5.5% of Apple. So these, I think, what does they say? The top 10 holdings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, represent the, I think, like, what did it say, 87% of the entire portfolio. Top 10 holdings, 87.2% of the entire portfolio. So this is a very concentrated portfolio. You really don't see many big portfolios like this with such concentration. It's one of the reasons why Berkshire has been outperforming the S&P over, I think, the entire course of its history. As of right now, Berkshire is outperforming the S&P 500 on pretty much every time frame, I think. And this is why they concentrate. They make big bets and they hold them for a long time. They add to them. So Chevron's interesting thing. They just bought 121 million shares of Chevron, despite the fact, people think that Warren is a bargain shopper, but Chevron's at an all-time high. I mean, look at this. It was at 70 in July. Now, less than 2 years later, it's at 170, and he's backing up the truck and buying. So I find this interesting. I always look to the 13F as a source of inspiration and a source of entertainment. It's just fun checking out, seeing what these guys are up to, what they're buying in the market, and what they're selling. So we could do that before I sign off. They finally closed all the way out of Wells Fargo, Bristol Myers Squibb, AbbVie, and they reduced holdings in Kroger, which is like a self-storage real estate thing, I think. They sold out of Verizon. That's actually pretty big. 157 million shares of Verizon. I honestly didn't even know. Oh, yeah, Royalty Pharma. So they sold out all these small pharmacies that they had, and then they added a new position. We'll do this. Let's look at the new position. So as of March 31st, we'll put it this way. Before 2022, Berkshire did not own these companies. Now they have $3 billion in Citigroup. They have $2.6 billion in Paramount, their streaming platform, Paramount Global. They got a lot of intellectual property. I think they just paid the creators of South Park like gobs of like $900 million for basically all the rights to existing South Park IP, and they've agreed to do a lot of future IP. And I don't know if you guys know, but like South Park is one of the most iconic, biggest shows in the U.S. and has been for a long time. Okay. And honestly, I don't really know any of these other kinds. Celanese, McKesson, it's a healthcare company. Markel is a finance company, and so is Ally Financial. They continue to like financials. Paramount has really kind of threw me for a loop. I was joking with my brother, like, hey, maybe Warren and Charlie are big South Park fans. Who knows? Doubt it, but you never know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. 13F Holdings. If you want to find this entire holding for yourself, just Google Berkshire 13F and it will pop up. All right. Happy trading, guys. Good luck out there.